People, the WNBA has arrived and it is here to stay. The league is exploding, sellout arenas, national headlines, and household names.
And our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook puts you right in the middle of the action. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly.
There are so many ways to bet too. Throw down on which team will win, how much they'll win by, how your favorite players will perform, and more. They've got you covered with WNBA action all season long.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THEPICKUP. That's code THEPICKUP for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org.
Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Hello and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Niker.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. Good morning.
Yes, and this is episode 142, baby.
Yes. It is episode 142. We are at the playoffs. We want to thank everyone so much for listening all season long, helping us, supporting us. It's been another year of like really big growth that was, I'd say, fairly unpredictable. And keep supporting us. Follow us on all of our social media accounts at the Pickup WNBA podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Those are the biggies. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're still rocking this ACAST survey and a Sonar Network survey to better figure out how we want to advertise and hopefully make a little bit of some sort of dough so we could kind of keep things profesh here. So really, really appreciate anyone who's filled that survey out and anyone who will fill the survey out. And we're just so excited for these playoffs. They're going to be the best playoffs ever, dare I say.
Yes, absolutely. And just a bit of a recording note, like we're recording this Friday morning, and so our episode's a little late this week. We normally record Wednesday night, but we realized because there was so much volatility with the playoff bracket that if we tried to do this Wednesday night and release it Thursday morning, our episode would be obsolete pretty quickly. So we decided to delay to do it Friday morning. So thank you, everyone, and apologies for the late episode this week. Hope you understand. We just wanted to give you the best playoff preview possible. Also, we have another exciting thing to let you guys know, and that is we are going to do a live stream episode this Wednesday night. So Wednesday, what's Wednesday?
Wednesday's the 17th. So
beautiful. Wednesday the 17th. I think we'll go live around 8:30. I think you and I will probably convene at 8, get our stuff, get our ducks in a row. We'll go live around 8:30. We'll look at the games that are currently happening, live react to them, as well as talk about the series so far, and all that good stuff. So join us live on YouTube. Go to our YouTube account, the Pickup WNBA pod, subscribe, see us there, and hang out with us. I think it'll be a super fun time.
Yeah, we've done a couple live reacts to college games actually for Bleacher Report, and this is going to be our first WNBA game that we're doing a live react for, which which would be really fun. I think it's also going to be there's going to be like a recap element because this is going to come out today, this podcast on September the 12th, but the playoffs start on Sunday. So it's a full playoff slate on Sunday. So, by the time we're recording on Wednesday, we may be dealing with elimination games. We will be dealing with elimination games. So yeah, it's going to be like a lot will have happened. There might be a couple series that have been wrapped up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some I definitely predict will be wrapped up, and some I'll be surprised if they're wrapped up. So yeah, okay. Well, we should get into it. Shall we? What's our well I think we're gonna put a clock on us this time, Freddie. This was your idea.
This is our idea. I feel like we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this, and we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of a 7-minute timer, and we're just gonna go for it on the series, and then move to the next. So we're gonna.
I know you were inspired by Pardon the Interruption, but I also feel it's very ADHD of us to be like, we have to have a timer.
100%. Listen, this is becoming a full WNBA basketball / ADHD pod. Like you're getting like typical textbook male ADHD, and you're getting the different flavor, female ADHD.
Yeah.
Underdiagnosed. So,
That's absolutely
right.
Yeah, we're getting all the kinds here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the clock on Lynx Valkyrie. Here we go.
So Lynx Valkyrie, this is the 1-8 series. The Valkyrie were really hovering around like 6 or 7, but they have fallen into what I would consider the unfortunate 8th seed. I think in this series, the Minnesota Lynx will take care of business. I do think the Valkyrie, they've been surprising people all season long. So there is reason to believe that, hey, why not surprise us again? Why not get a game at home, perhaps? But I just think the Minnesota Lynx have just been taking care of business all season long. They have been not just the best team, but also the most consistent at that level. And I just think they're too experienced to really let a game slip. I feel like, and I don't mean this as any disrespect to the Valkyrie at all, but I think for them to win a game, it would be like the Lynx just weren't on it. You know what I mean? Like they just weren't on top of their shit for that game, and they were doing that thing that good teams do where they kind of like play down to a different level. But I just don't think the Lynx are that team at all. And so I do think this will be a sweep, a 1-2 sweep, but I do think it will be hard fought. And I think that home game will be a combination of celebratory, but also some sad feelings as well, because obviously you're losing the playoffs and you probably had higher hopes at certain points of the season, but also just so fun for Golden State. I kind of wish they were in a more competitive series, to be honest, but someone had to be 8th. And really, really happy for this franchise. And frankly, not to get too ahead of myself here, they've really set the bar for all of these new franchises coming in, right? Like Toronto, Portland, Cleveland, Philly, Detroit. Like they have really, really set the bar for all of these new franchises. So it would be lovely to see them get a game. I don't think it'll happen, but I think they'll have one game where it's close. They might get a bit uncomfortably close for the Lynx, but at the end of the day, I think they're going to handle their business.
Yeah, the first thought I had was, damn, for the Valkyrie, just because I think their strongest attribute, I know their strongest attribute is their depth. Right. They did a really, we covered how they drafted their team. They really did a good job of getting overall talent. And I think that showed up in the standings. They're battle tested, lots of veterans on the team. The problem is the Minnesota Lynx are top heavy and bottom heavy. So, you know what I mean?
They just heavy, girl. They just heavy.
They're full. And they, I think the Liberty are also like that. We'll get to them later, but the Lynx just like have the stars, they have the chemistry, they have, best defense in the league. And I think they're going to absolutely smother the Valkyrie. I think one thing that's interesting about this series, and a lot of the stats we've pulled up to talk about things here, is from the last 10 games because we wanted to focus on how teams are coming into the playoffs. And the Valkyrie have really, really balanced scoring. So in that sense, I don't think it's the clearest. I don't think they're a clear team to game plan for. Like, I think in that sense, like they're a high scorer for the last 10 games is Veronica Burton, who's scoring 14 points a game. And then right behind her is Janelle Salon. Pardon my stutter, comes out every once in a while. But yeah, she's averaging 13.8 points a game. And so that's not like, you're not, if you're Cheryl Reeve, you're not at the whiteboard being like, this is the key to stopping the Valkyrie. It's like, okay, you shut down a player that's scoring 14 points a game. And
yeah, this isn't Becky Hammond screaming Kalia effing Copper,
Exactly. So I think this feels weird to start with this because this feels like my absolute hottest take, but I think the Valkyrie they're gonna take game 2. I think that Oracle is gonna be so wild, and I think it's going to be the loudest arena in the playoffs, and I think it's gonna be a memorable moment, and it's gonna cap their season. I'm basically like going with what you suggested, which is I don't think the Lynx are take their foot off the pedal team. I don't, but I think that there's going to be an energy in that arena that is deafening, and it's just I think I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's Feg Bentley or Ileana Rupert or Kayla Charles or whoever it is. I think someone is going to have the best game of their lives. And it's just going to be, it's like, I think it's going to be like the Valkyrie can't miss a shot sort of energy. And I think the Lynx will win the first game by like 25 points, and they will lose the second game by 2 points, and they'll win the third game by like 100 points. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just it's not gonna be like the Lynx dropped the ball. It's just gonna be like, what the hell was that?
Interesting. So yeah, I don't think that will happen, but I think that would be a very fun scenario. But I think what'll happen in game 2 is like, yes, I think I agree with the energy of the crowd. I don't know if it will be the loudest of the whole playoffs. I think that's kind of spicy. I think like the Aces have a very loud arena, the Liberty, the Lynx, especially as it gets deeper into the playoffs, those arenas are going to be really loud. So I don't know about that, but I think the crowd will carry them in game 2. I think it'll be one of those games where like they get it, they have like a really great like third quarter run. They maybe get it to like 6 points and everyone gets like crazy excited. And then the Lynx, they do what they need to do. That's kind of more how I think it will go. But I like this take from you. I like that we have different opinions at 1-8. That's fun for us. So I guess we're ending it at me. It's gonna be that's the timer.
That's the timer.
Minnesota sweep, and you think it's gonna be 2-1. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty close to a sweep, but I'm going 2-1. Let's start the timer on Aces and Storm.
Oh, listen, I feel like I've been such a believer in the Storm, and then also like equally perplexed by the fact that they don't have a better record than they do. I think they've had some player chemistry issues at earlier points in the season. They did have like a weird losing streak in early August that had me kind of like worried for them. But since they really seem like they are together, they are cohesive, and I think this is going to be a tough out. I really do. I do think the Dream will come out on top. but I do not think this will
Wait,
be
did I say dream? Because it's aces.
Oh, it's aces. Oh god, sorry. That's my bad because we were looking the Bleacher Report bracket this morning was wrong. So
Mhm.
anyways, shout out to them, I guess. Aces Storm. Yeah. So this is funny too because this is a rematch of last year. And that's really crappy for the Storm also. But the good news is that they actually get a home game this time. And they
Mhm.
didn't get that home game last year. And they've also been a part of like so many really close games this year and have found a way to come out on top. They've had
Yep.
several spectacular end of game finishes
Oh, man, that
this
last one
year.
with the Valkyrie.
Yeah, absolutely crazy, right? To clinch their playoff spot. You know, they've had other ones earlier in the season against the Sparks. Like I just feel like I would be shocked if the Storm maybe I shouldn't say shocked because the Aces have this crazy winning streak and maybe they want to really continue that into the playoffs. Obviously they would. Why wouldn't they? But I just want to give the Storm a game, and maybe that's just my heart more than it is my head at this point. But I really I just feel like the Storm they've they've battled through storms literally. Um,
Beautiful.
Thank you, considering it's like 8 AM and I haven't had coffee yet. Wild. Um, you know, but they really have, and I think towards the end of the season, they've really come together. I mean, the Aces have really, really come together towards the end of the season, and I expect them to come out on top, but the Storm are a very good team, and I feel like they're better than their 7th place, position. I don't know. I think my heart is, possibly being ridiculous here. Um, but I don't know, like, it's another unfortunate thing for them to have to get the Aces a 2nd year in a row, truly. And they probably don't have enough bigs. I mean, they have your Dominique Malonga, who we
Mhm.
love. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I think Storm I really think the Storm can get a game. And I think it'll be close and it'll be a wild finish.
yeah, credit to the Storm. I think they have a lot of toughness, right? With Diggins and Williams and Agumake, like
Yeah, they're so tough.
they're very, very, very tough. I think that to me there's a lot.
The Aces are tougher.
Well, no, I just think it's as simple as Asia's playing the type of basketball we've seen her and only her play over the past, like, since we've been doing this podcast, the highest level of basketball I've seen from any player, including other MVPs, Jonquel Jones.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been Asia for
it's been
sure.
Asia big time, and right now, like heading into the playoffs, she's averaging 27 points a game,
Whew.
70% from three, almost 11 rebounds, 2 assists, less than 2 turnovers, a steal, and 3 blocks.
So here's, I not to get too ahead of ourselves, but I actually think she's taken the MVP
I
at
I
this
think I
point.
think so too.
Yeah, like I mean, I was on the Nafisa Collier train for MVP for a very long
Me
time,
too.
and I have no regrets. But I also think too, towards the end of the season, Nafisa had her injuries, but then also as she came back, was playing fewer minutes. And that tells me that she wasn't necessarily like gunning for it, like I have to win MVP. I think she's more focused on like, no, I just need to be healthy to win a championship.
Mhm.
And that seems to be priority number one for them. Not to say that isn't a priority for the Aces, but but the way they've put on this MVP candidacy in addition to her play, it seems like as a team, they're really focused on getting her this award more so than the Lynx have been focused on this award. I think Asia's going to get the MVP. You're absolutely right. She's playing. I didn't realize she was averaging 27. That is bonkers. Like, she's an unstoppable force right now. And maybe, maybe the Storm can't stop it, but I do think they're going to put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah, and, I think, both teams, like, are shooting the hell out of the ball. So the Storm are heading in with 37% 3-point shooting in the last 10 games, and the Aces 43% 3-point shooting. So, all the kind of like every. I think this is going to be a really. um, it, I don't know. There's a lot of exciting series, but I think this could be the tightest series in a lot of ways. I feel like I can't really see a blowout because although Asia's the best player, I think by far in this series, I then think that the Storm might have like the next two best players in Diggins and Agumake, and like
And
and
Gabby will, yeah.
yeah, Gabby Williams is sort of like I don't, it's just like, I mean, you can't discount Jackie Young, but like the team is just like both teams are stacked, and yeah, a player like Malonga could make a big difference. Like if Malonga plays, right now she's playing 21 minutes going into 21 minutes a game going into the playoffs. Like I don't know if feel like those will be reduced to like 10 minutes, but how
They
she
need to
plays,
they need to play her more, in my opinion. She's
yeah,
great. She's phenomenal. And the experience would be so good for her, and she's their future. Get her
she is their future. Yeah,
Get her
but
in there. Get her
I
in there.
mean,
She's gonna block some shots. Like, trust and believe. If you give her the minutes, first of all, she'll get blocked, no question. But she'll have an impressive block at least. Like they need to play her more. All right, the timer's up. The timer's
I
up.
mean, Erica Wheeler. Yeah, this series is so stacked that I also just like last thing I'm gonna say about the series. I think
The
to
timer's
me,
up.
timer's up, but I think it's the best candidate for a potential fight. Like
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
think if there's like yeah, if there's fists thrown, this is
That
the
that
series, and it could be Becky.
You know what? That was worth ignoring the timer for.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely. It could be Becky versus Skyler. That's hilarious.
right. Uh,
Um,
okay, here we
yeah.
go. 7 minutes on the Dream and Fever.
Like this is just the Fever have been decimated with injuries. I mean, I was on the record saying like I kind of low key was hoping they wouldn't make the
Yeah,
playoffs, which I
yeah.
know is, not the nicest take to all the Fever fans out there, but I just feel like, and I'm glad they shut down Caitlin Clark for the season. Like the last
Mhm.
thing I would have wanted to see is for them to like force her out there to like rush something to make the situation worse. But also they have injuries to Sydney Colson, Sophie Cunningham. Like they've also lost their like a decent amount of their depth as well.
Mhm.
And good for them for still being sixth. I think this is going to speak volumes to what they can accomplish next season as a healthy team. I don't think people should look at this season as like a complete lost cause. I think this season's been huge for players like Lexi Hall, who have had to like step up and be, kind of the face of this team at this point in a weird way. I mean, we also have Kelsey Mitchell and like, I just think there's been a lot of growth with this team. This team is very good when they're healthy, but I think this for the dream fever, not the fever dream, is frankly a bit of a sweet spot for the dream. And I don't think anybody nobody predicted the dream to be this good all season long. I think people saw the dream at the start of the season in the lower end of the bracket, but you know, they're gonna be arguably not just in the next round, but possibly like slightly rested. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be shading on the Fever that hard, but the Atlanta Dream are really good and they're really deep. There's so much talent in this league, my god. But yeah, like this is gonna be a sweep, my friends.
It
I
is
don't
gonna
know
be
what
a
else
sweep.
to tell you.
Yeah, and I didn't say with the Aces Storm, but I'm calling it Aces sweep there as well. A tight sweep, but a sweep nonetheless. But
I probably should call it that too, but
yeah, I think that what I'm thinking about this series is I feel like the Dream are really going like 8 deep, and one thing I'm wondering is how what Smesco ball is all about, because I'm wondering if the approach here for Indiana is to say we are so, you know, we're so beaten down, and um we really want to go star for star here. So we're gonna play Mitchell in Boston. Like, we're gonna give them like a breather, but they're gonna play like 37 minutes a game. And we'll see some like Powers and Brianna Turner, but like
Yeah,
someone
like
like
strategic breathers. This is like, I see this in the NBA all the time where it's like, okay, there's a minute left in the third quarter.
exactly, yeah.
We're taking you off so we can use the quarter breaks to add to your rest, kind of thing.
And I could see someone like Shea Petty, for instance, from the Fever, getting cut from the rotation to sort of force the Dream's hand, because the Dream, if you're looking at sort of their minute breakdown, it's like really even. Like, you got Griner at 16 minutes a game. Like, that's not a lot heading in. You got Maya Caldwell at 21 minutes a game, and so they're really kind of in. I mean, Ryan plays 35 minutes a game, heading into this, and Alicia Gray is obviously playing 30 minutes a game. Naz Hillman, 30 minutes, but I think that they kind of have a little bit of like a sort of a collective strategy going on. And if I'm the Fever, I want to press that. And I want to say,
our strategy is we're going to play our best players and run them into the ground.
yeah, I mean, it's, especially with this first round series, it's only 3 games.
Yeah.
So I think Mitchell is up for it. And yeah, I also
And they
want to
wanted
say,
to be there. Like, they were like, we
sure.
want to be in the playoffs. Like, they
Also,
were not waving the white flag. I was waving the white flag for them, but they were never waving the white flag.
Also, this is like obviously so much of the I guess media coverage is going to be about Caitlin not playing, but I think people need to remember that we have some very recent first overall draft picks in this series, right? So Howard is as advertised. I've been saying, I mean, I made like an outside MVP joke with her, but I really think, I'll stand on this hill, but I think she's the best 3-point shooter in the league. And I think that, Aaliyah Boston has also had a gigantic season, absolutely
Oh,
gigantic
yeah.
season. And Aaliyah Boston has been like as advertised. She was drafted first overall, won Rookie of the Year. Obviously Caitlin got so much of the attention, right? She's just phenomenon of a player, but Aaliyah is going to be an absolute problem. Like, I see her outplaying Griner 100%. But I'm with you. It does feel like sometimes there's like a momentum thing, and I think that the Fever, it's not like it's so unfair to say that they've thrown in the towel, but it seems as if their momentum is tied to Caitlin in a way where I think that I don't know. I could see them being broken, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Like, just like almost like a mental fatigue. And
I
I
mean,
see
I think,
Atlanta doing it.
wow. Yeah, there could be a mental fatigue. I mean, I see Atlanta winning, but I wasn't looking at it quite from that perspective. I just think they're just outnumbered, frankly. Um, yeah, it could be a bit of a mental fatigue. I mean, I think, they've got a great coach, the Fever do. Well, both teams do. But, they're not gonna have enough gas in the tank, frankly.
Mhm.
But I do think they'll fight hard, but I do think this will be an easy out and an easy move on for the Dream.
Yeah, here.
And Ryan Howard, like, I'm hoping, like, she gets more on the map through these playoffs, because you're right, like, Ryan Howard's amazing, and she's kind of underrated, actually.
I agree. That's our time there, and the last thing
Beauty.
I'll say is Alicia Gray has had just a remarkable season, and I'm excited to see.
She's so
I
fun.
hope she gets even more attention in the playoffs, because I think one of the reasons that we've been talking about Howard less is that Alicia Gray has had this. I think she's a lock for MIP.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, that's solid. I love that. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Last series, and I think potentially the best one. We got 7 minutes on the clock for Mercury, Liberty Mercury with home court.
These are like my 2 favorite teams going
Yeah.
up against each other in the first round. This is hard for me. This is hard for me. I love both of these teams so much. I think this is absolutely going to be the toughest series. I think in no way will this series even feel like a first round series.
Mhm.
And I think this I think this series is going to make the case for the first round to be more games.
I love that take. I mean, I already don't enjoy. I mean, sorry, I just
No, go ahead.
I'm team more basketball, right? But beyond that, 3 games feels like there's an opportunity for the best team to not win. And I don't like that for I think if it's a knockout college thing, FIFA World Cup, whatever, that's fine. But I think for basketball, I want I want 7 games, but I think at least 5. And I think I think you're bang on, and you gotta have more than, best 2 out of 3. It has to be at least best 3 out of 5.
Because for the Liberty, they're finally all healthy, like their core at least. They're finally all healthy, and they haven't been all healthy pretty much the entire season. And I just, even though I think the Liberty are overall a better team on paper, even though I do think, the Phoenix is obviously very good, it I question whether it's enough time for them because they haven't played together enough all year. Like, if it were 5 games, I would have I would be leaning to the Liberty more so.
Me too.
But because it's 3 games and Phoenix has home court and, uh, they Phoenix, man, they're also so good. And the thing is that like Phoenix is gonna they're gonna see that, the blood in the water type of, whatever that saying is. It's like they're gonna see it. They are going to see the championship in front of them, and they are going to take it, I feel. I think they're just gonna take it, and I think it's gonna be an extremely hard-fought battle. I think every game could come down to the wire. Now, I love Sabrina. She's, like, pretty much my favorite player. She's the only player shoe I've ever bought in my life. Like, I love Sabrina. She is very capable of heroics, and if she does have some heroics, I will be jumping off of my couch, losing my mind, so happy. So happy, and I never thought in a million years I'd be predicting this, but I'm actually leaning towards Phoenix.
I'm also leaning towards Phoenix. I think a fun thing here, if you're a Phoenix fan, is you wanna know who knows the Liberty better than anyone? Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner.
Oh, yes.
They are ready for everything that the Liberty is about to do. They
Yes.
have played them with the Sun in so many tight contests. They understand who this team is,
And then you have
and
the John Paul
they know
Jones factor too.
exactly. And
Oh,
I think this series. Okay, if the Liberty win, I'm not surprised, right?
no,
Because
of
they're
course.
the Liberty. And I think that they're just, so with Brondello, like I think they're so deep too, and they have a lot, you know, they have a lot of ways that they can win this. But I think as far as toughness, Copper, Satu, Phoenix is really, really, when we talk about like the worst case scenario, I think the Liberty playing the Mercury is the worst case scenario for any team in this
Yeah.
playoffs. I can't think of a worse matchup for the Liberty, to be honest.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I mean, a part of me like I love both teams, but a part of me like wants to root for the Liberty because I've loved the Liberty Aces rivalry
Mhm.
and even the rivalry with the Lynx, and I selfishly very much want that to continue. Like, I don't know who they would see in the next I forget how the bracket works out for who they would face in the next round, but regardless of that, like, I just feel like I love those rivalries. I think really great rivalries like that really shape when you look back at decades in the league, what are the things that you first think of? Like, you think of those kinds of matchups, right? And I feel like we might be missing out with that this year. But I remember, early in the season when we were doing our predictions, and obviously we predicted the Liberty to get to the finals, to possibly win again. But I remember saying, like, the only caveat is that it is hard to get to a finals multiple years in a row. And they've already done it 2 years in a row. This is the year where they have their injuries. It makes sense that this is a bit of a setback year for them. And then they regroup and really just, are insane next year. I don't know.
I for some reason thought that the WNBA reseeded each round, and I'm wrong. So if whoever wins this series is going to play what we assume to be the Lynx. So if Liberty wins, they got the Lynx. If Mercury wins, they got the Lynx. But yeah, I really,
Woo!
I
mean,
think
even Phoenix and the Lynx is like crazy spicy. Like, I mean, I would pick yeah, anyway.
This playoffs is really spicy in general because, if you've been following the league the past couple of years, it's been an era of, obviously the Sun have been involved, but the Liberty and the Aces sort of like, it's been this kind of like this really top heavy era. And although the Lynx tied the Aces win, or the Liberty win record, even though it's an extended season, which you got to throw in there, it's not as top heavy. Or I would say it's the least top heavy season I've ever seen. And I think that changed halfway through the year, where it really felt like, oh man, there's like 4 or 5 contenders here. And Phoenix is certainly a contender. I am going to go with Phoenix in 3. And the reason I'm semi rooting for the Liberty is because I hate when injuries determine the series. Even though that's a fact of basketball, I always want the healthiest versions of each team to battle it out. That to me is just
Absolutely.
ideal. And I think that we just won't be able to see peak Sabrina. There's a chance we won't be. I don't know how healthy Stewie is, so I just don't think we're going to see the healthiest version of each team. And by the way, that's not to say Phoenix isn't also banged up. So
look at you ignoring your timer every round.
Hey, I got to get a couple words in.
You got what? I took up all the space?
No, you're starting, so I'm like, I feel like I gotta just like throw in some ending.
All right. I like it. Freddie, we're just gonna skip to fun question this week. Is that right?
Yep.
Ooh, FFQ. Freddie's fun question.
Freddie
wanted to skip this, by the way.
They did.
And I was like, no, the listeners demand a Freddie's fun question.
Well, I appreciate that. And
I'm looking out for you.
You are looking out for me. And, I think also it's the easiest FFQ I've ever done because shout out to Skyler Diggins Smith for wearing a jacket.
Skyler Diggins now.
I'm sorry.
There's no Smith anymore.
My bad. Bye Smith. And bye
that guy.
And bye anything that's not milk in a jacket, because she wore a jacket of bagged milk, which is especially relevant for Canadians because if the heavy majority of our listeners are American, and y'all do cartoned milk, right? Which is honestly pretty normal. Come up north and check out our bagged milk. It's weird.
We also have milk in cartons. You have choice.
We do, but bagged milk.
You do not have to buy bagged milk here.
You don't have to, but trust me, a lot of people do, and they even have containers for bagged milk. And then you cut the corner of the bag. It's odd. Anyways, Skyler Diggins, this is really up there for one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It, full coat of many bags of milk. And there's a promo where she gets it from the fridge, and then she goes to the coffee shop and pours milk out of her sleeve in a coffee. It's she pulls it off.
I just saw the walk in the tunnel.
Oh, you got to check those out. No, they really, it's like it's a whole bit. It's like it's really they went for it, and they decided to be as weird as possible, which I love. So my FFQ for both of us is, you wake up, your regular coat's not there. You go to the coat hanger. It's a coat full of many bags of milk.
I hope that coat's in the refrigerator, but go on.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too. But we're Engelbert, help us out. We need a fridge for our coat of many milks.
We need a WNBA fridge just for our milk coat.
Yeah. So my question to you, Cathryn, and to me is, what do you do? What's your day like? You're walking around with a coat full of many bags of milk.
First of all, I'm not walking around in this coat. Okay. This
Okay,
coat looks heavy.
It does look heavy.
And I'm a large woman and simultaneously a dainty lady. Okay.
Sure,
If you wanna learn who I am, I'm a combination of both of those things. I mean, I would need to be carried around in this coat. I would want a bunch of strong, burly men to carry me around in this coat like I'm Cleopatra. Okay, but I don't want necessarily like how they picture like those Egyptian guys carrying her. I want like, those guys that like throw like logs for sport.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So you want a bearded flannel. We're going full Canada here.
Yeah. Like that, because listen, I'm whatever. I'm making myself sound gigantic. I'm not the tiniest woman. Okay. I've mentioned this. I'm 5'10". I'm easily over 200 pounds. I need large men to carry both me and milk. And I would want to be paraded around town as the princess and dainty lady that I am. And then I could just hand out mini cartons of milk to people. How else would I give out samples of refrigerated milk? So these men have to carry me, the milk coat, and some sort of mini refrigerator, maybe like a cooler bag to hand out to the people, just the people, free milk. So everyone gets their protein, and they're lactose intolerant friends. Maybe we have some lactose milk on hand too, keep it.
I love it.
And then the vegans, I don't know, they'll just have to get their oat milk somewhere, because I don't think this is part of that. But I also drink oat milk, so there's no hate here. Just saying.
Okay.
This is how I would do it. I'm not Skyler Diggins strong. You know what I mean? Like, she can walk around in that coat. I would just get tired very quickly. Be very tired.
That's fair.
Yes.
If you know me, Cathryn refers to me as the type of guy who wears free t-shirts. And
you wear a lot of free t-shirts.
That's a big part of who I am. So fashion is my major weak point. So this is an opportunity for me, right? So I'm going to be wearing a jacket full of many bags of milk. So
also free, by the way.
Also free. And so here's what you're getting from me. I'm going to give back to the community. It's going to be many a milk stunt is happening all day long. So first of all, I'm going to head to the local pool. I'm going to cannonball. I'm going to cannonball in there, and I'm going to float, because I have a jacket that's basically a life jacket filled with bagged milk. I will almost immediately be kicked out of the pool, because you can't jump in a jacket, and they're going to be like, this guy's out of control. But so I'll leave the pool, and then I'll probably hop on a bus, and maybe go to a convenience store. I'm going to get some chocolate. So one of my sleeves is going to be chocolate milk. I'm going to get some.
Oh, that's a nice.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm getting a variety of different tasting milks. I am going to invite myself to some friend's house and be like, hey, do you want some cereal? As soon as I pour that cereal, I will be simultaneously pouring the milk in their bowl. I'm going to be really,
Simultaneous pour.
that's right. I'm going to be really inserting myself into people's mornings with a variety of, I'll be doing milk jokes, milk mustache for sure. That's going to be in there. I'm also going to be doing, don't cry over spilled milk type jokes. Maybe I'll go to farm, um, do a little of, some online content with some cows. We'll figure some stuff out. But
You're really doing the whole day.
if I have a jacket filled with many bags of milk, my only route out of there is to get rid of that milk in the silliest way possible.
Oh, I wasn't
So,
even thinking about getting rid of the milk. I was just
yeah.
thinking about modeling it.
Yeah, no, see, I'm not a model at all.
Oh.
I can't pull off a look. So I go straight to stunt because Skyler Diggins with a jacket
She
of
did
milk.
both, I guess.
She actually did do both. So she
She
was
did
full
both.
stunt and full bit and also full, model. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't have the model part.
between the two of us, we get it done.
Yeah, you get the model part down. I get the like absolute wild man wearing bags of milk part done.
Amazing.
Um,
Great stuff.
yeah, we got that done. I want to say happy playoffs to everybody.
Happy playoffs. We are here.
Sunday the 14th. It's just a full slate of 4 games. Like, everyone have a goddamn good time. This is going to be so fun.
And everybody remember this Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. We're live on YouTube. Come check us out. Come say hi. Let us know what you think. This is your chance to really tell us when we're wrong. All that good stuff. Come join us. We want to see you. Yes, and then also, Freddie, you have our fantasy winner to announce.
I do, and we have a top 3 here. So, but let's start. Let's count them in. So, the third place, who had the best record all season long, sort of like the Liberty. We'll see what happens, but the Elevate Your Game finished in third place. And huge season. So shout out to you. Massive.
I want to say really quickly to Elevate Your Game. I thought of you when I was looking at Ellie the elephant, and her looks have really, she's really stepped up her looks. The little like turquoise wig that she wears has evolved. She's wearing other wigs. She wore a blonde wig. She was doing like a whole Mary J. Blige routine, which was amazing. And then it made me think of you. That's all.
Beautiful. And then second place made it to the finals. KDB Ballin, shout out to you. Silver medal. And the champion of our inaugural pickup WNBA fantasy season. We might have to run 2 leagues next year because a healthy amount of people didn't get in, and me and Cathryn had to share a team. And honestly, I feel like
you'll run a league. I'll run a league. I think is
the
how we'll
listener.
do it.
Well, I think the listeners deserve to see us compete.
Ooh,
We'll say
okay,
that.
all right, cool.
But Cantankerous Cats, you won this league. A huge big victory in the final game.
I was gonna say that's a come from behind win, right?
Yeah, they finished fourth in the in the regular season, and it was tight for a little while, but like a really big win for the finals. And Cantankerous Cats, make sure you reach out to us because you are going to get a WNBA ball from
Yes, please reach out
Cathryn.
to us. We'll need your contact info so we can send that to you. And thank you everyone for participating. So fun. And thank you everyone who reached out, who was interested. Like, we're so excited that we get to do this again next year, and we're going to expand it to the both of us. So we'll have 20, but if it's me and you also in it, then I guess that's 18 spots total.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be really exciting for next year. And I guess we'll announce that early May.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for playing, and enjoy the playoffs. Thanks for this season. It's been we're gonna have a really good playoffs, but we're gonna have a fun off season too, heading into, I mean, lots going on, but let's take it one day at a time. We're gonna start with this fun live stream on Wednesday, the 17th. I just had it here, I think, or is it Wednesday the 17th at 8:30. So we'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening, for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace,
Bye.
everybody. See ya.